Good evening, everyone. You know those moments in some films, it's usually towards the beginning of the film where the main character's in trouble and the movie pauses and there's a narration or voiceover and it's the main character like, "You're probably wondering how I got here." Well, I'm in a situation like that right now. Uh, I am 32 years old and don't always make the best dietary decisions. As you can see, this is the stomach of a masochist here. Um, yeah, 32 years old. You would think that I would learn my lessons and I would remember that, if you eat too much during the summer, you're going to get sick because of the heat and the pressure. And, it's happened more than once. And you know what? I had pork nachos for lunch, and then I went to the movies to see Mission Impossible Fallout, and I was like, "God, I'm really thirsty, it's really hot out." I was like, "But I don't think I'm gonna go for a soda. I'll go for an icy," and then I'm like, I need something savory to go with that. I'm not too hungry because of the nachos, but I just need something savory. And so I get the little mini corn dogs, and I eat the whole thing and the icy, and then as the movie's coming to the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all converging into something that has nuclear potential. So yes, I saw Mission Impossible Fallout. I've enjoyed nearly every entry into the series. Rogue Nation really surprised me. I thought the series was going to start kind of petering out, and lo and behold, I've like I said, I've loved nearly every entry. 3 was great. Ghost Protocol was a lot of fun, and then Rogue Nation surprised me because it's the 5th film, and usually by that time a film kind of peters out, slows down, gets rote or repetitive. But no, it was great. The addition of Rebecca Ferguson's character as a British intelligence officer who's kind of enslaved to the government that she's working for. Her character is never predictable, and she is in this film as well, and greatly utilized. Every scene she is in serves a purpose, not only to her character, but to the greater story at play. This is an excellent film. Christopher McQuarrie, he is the director. I believe he also directed the previous film, Rogue Nation. This is, this is an excellent film, and this is a great follow-up to Rogue Nation. I almost want to say that this is one of the best Mission Impossible films. I have one or two complaints, but for the most part, this film is like golden. It's amazing how much great action takes place, how the story ties into the previous entries. There are elements and nods to nearly every single prior entry in the franchise. The theater gave out this little booklet here. I haven't gone through it yet, but I was surprised at just how fast-paced and fresh this film was. This is the 6th entry, and you know what? If this is the final Mission Impossible, they are going out with a bang, and this is like absolutely, a perfect place to stop the story. Now, there's definitely potential for sequels as this is a profitable franchise, and I'm sure that this film is going to do very, very well. So yeah, they could make tons more if they wanted to. I'm just saying that if they did stop here, narratively it would work, and this is a high point in the franchise. I'm saying that it's definitely improves upon the things that were great in Rogue Nation and surpasses them in some degrees. There are moments in this film that are like right out of Christopher Nolan's playbook, and Christopher McQuarrie uses these Nolan elements, if you will, to his own advantage. And there's one scene in particular that will be very reminiscent to you to the Dark Knight film. But Christopher McQuarrie uses that scene to his advantage, to the film's advantage. I really can't say enough good things about the structure of the film for the most part. Tom Cruise, he's definitely aging, but he is aging super gracefully. He still does many of his own stunts in this film. There's a lot of action. I cannot say enough about how much top-notch. My tongue is starting to disobey me. It's gone rogue. Tongue, I need you to work. Okay. The acting is on point. There are great performances. Really, again, I mentioned Rebecca Ferguson. She was the special sauce, the secret ingredient to making Rogue Nation so great, and she's great in this. The secret ingredient to this film is Henry Cavill. His character provides a lot of surprises, a lot of interesting and entertaining moments. His character is very unpredictable until about towards the end. Then you kind of realize where it's going. But up until that point, you're like, oh, I don't know how this is going to play out. Tom Cruise does great for his age. Everything that he does seems fairly believable. He just plays it off really well. I mean, this is I don't know his age, but I think he's in his early 50s, and he's still doing these great stunts, these action scenes that are out of an action film, like a classic action film. That's really, I guess, the best way to describe this. Is this feels like a classic action movie, the original Bond films, the films that we enjoyed from the 80s that we maybe don't see as much these days. So I think I've said a lot. Most of what I appreciated about this film is, the story structure, how there are elements from nearly every entry in the franchise present here. The characters are just really well used, are utilized, and they just make the film so entertaining. I'd say about 80% of the film is just gold, A+ material. It's as we get towards the middle, or not the middle, but towards the end, partway through the third act, things kind of lag, and it's like we can already tell where things are going, and it's just kind of, there are points where it's like, okay, can we just speed this along a little bit? It does feel like, and there is action, but at this point, it's like we know where the story is going to go. Can we just kind of move it along a little bit? It's a minor complaint. Again, this film is fan-freaking-tastic. If I had the money, and if August didn't have so many freaking great movies, I mean, there's Christopher Robin next week. I think Mile 22 the week after. Oh, dang it. There's just a ton of movies coming out in the coming weeks that I got to save up for. If I didn't, I would be seeing this movie at least 2 more times. Once more, to soak in some of the story details that I might have missed, because there's a lot going on in this film. And then the third time, just because there are so many fun moments in this film. I cannot say enough good things. This is an A for me. It would be an A+, a solid A+, if they'd kind of just trimmed the ending a little bit. That said, again, this is Christopher McQuarrie's best entry in the franchise. This is absolutely one of the best Mission Impossible films, the best action film that I've seen in this recently. Of recent memory, I cannot think of anything that has been this good, this memorable, and this is something that I'm going to be definitely picking up on Blu-ray when that time comes. Definitely check it out.